What's going on? This is Frank from Silence Equals Death. You are watching CMS TV.
It is Chris Akin Presents, and I, of course, am Chris Akin. And today on the show, we are going to throw down. It is time for some hardcore. The band is Silence Equals Death. That's friendly. And certainly their new release is not friendly. It's anything but that. It is a violent attack on your ears. It is fantastic. It's called From the Ashes. And here to talk all about it is the drummer of the band, Mr. Frankie DeAngelis. Frankie, how are you, man?
I'm doing awesome. How you guys doing?
It's good, man. It's good to talk to you. I'm gonna be straight up. I did not know about your band until about a month ago. So
All
I'm
right,
coming in I'm coming in a little behind. So if I ask questions that are 3 years old, that's why. But
You're good
let's
to go,
talk.
man.
Well, let's talk about the band, man. Tell everybody like a real brief kind of who is Silence Equals Death and how'd you get together?
I joined the band about 2 years ago. They've
Okay.
been playing over a decade as a hardcore band. I know they had a bunch of lineup changes, and they can never really find that gel. Like everyone just makes that music, where everyone's like, "Okay, this is it."
Hmm.
And you know, uh, yeah, we're just gonna go at it right now, and um, sounds equals death. It's we're here for a long time now, and we have like a reborn version of it, right, going
Hmm.
on. So releasing the EP, we're already actually working on a full length album for next year, like right, back to back. We're just gonna keep going.
Right on.
Um,
Old school hardcore style.
yeah, most of it, and then we're pushing a little more towards metal now.
Hmm.
We're trying to change it up a little bit. We're just writing and recording what we like to hear, and hopefully there's like-minded people that can get into it and they like the music.
Sure. Let's talk a little bit about hardcore itself. It seems like, obviously everybody knows that the community was built on unity. If you look all the way through at least the message that was presented was unity.
Right.
Seems like it's very different now. It seems very divided, seems very political. Not that it wasn't before, but it definitely seems to have ventured into the worlds of political leanings and social justice and social culture. Where do
Yeah,
you see it as a member of the community? Do you see it as divided, and do you wish it wasn't?
I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
Okay.
I'm trying not to look at it like that. It is what it is, right? Everyone has a belief and an opinion, and nowadays, they'll let you know that opinion. So, I don't know. We try to stay away from it. Even my band is kind of divided with things like that, and we don't even. It's not an issue. We just play music, and it's the universal thing where it doesn't matter what you believe. You listen to the music, and you're just happy. Like it doesn't matter what's going on outside that room right now. You
Sure.
know. But yeah, I see the division. I see everyone. I see a lot of people. They have a lot of hate out there, a lot of negativity. I think that's it's easy to be like that. I think it's harder to block it out and just move on. It's okay. None of that's really going to affect your life in real life. Just
Right.
let it go. Listen to some music. Be happy. Go enjoy yourself. Stay away
Right.
from the
No,
politics. That's gonna ruin your head.
I totally agree with you, man. I
Yeah.
hate I hate more than anything, I'm a music guy, obviously, and when I get records and like even the bio leads with due to Trump this or due to Biden that, and it's like, dude, I don't even want to touch that. It's like
Yeah.
I just want to go to a show and enjoy myself. That's it.
Yep. A lot of bands are doing it on stage now. They're using their platform to say what they have to say, and it's a shame because I think you alienate probably half your people by doing so.
Hmm.
I mean, level-headed people are going to see past it, but you have your people out there that just, hell-bent on, if you don't believe what I believe, then you're wrong. Like,
Right.
oh, okay, then I'm wrong. I like that song. Let me listen to the song.
Right. I
I don't know,
I I'm sure you're like me. You just miss the days where you go to a bar, you go to a show or whatever, and not get inundated with it. With be like, who's a better band, Biohazard or Hatebreed? That I miss
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I just yeah, it is a little ridiculous. You gotta, it, you gotta block it out. You just, try to think positive, and I do it. Even at my shows, I run a place in central New Jersey, and my band shows, we don't get too crazy on the stage with that stuff. Like, Scott's good. He's a great front man. He doesn't get political on stage. He'll tell you about his little vegan stuff and his animal rights stuff, and that's all fine.
Yeah.
That's good. But you can't get crazy. You got to realize, people listen to you. They like both sides. They listen to you because they want to hear your music. They don't want to hear what you think about, about the world right now. We go there
Right.
to escape all that stuff.
Amen. Agree with you totally. Well, Frankie, let's dig into the record a little bit. I don't want to turn this into a political nonsense,
Yeah,
but,
thank you. Yeah, yeah.
obviously from listening to From the Ashes and I went back and I listened to the other stuff that's on Bandcamp as well, so that I could get a good vibe for what you guys do. Like you mentioned at the beginning, this is obviously leaning more metal than the band used to be.
Mhm.
Talk a little bit about that decision. Is that just a natural growth, or was it that you guys didn't want to do as much hardcore stuff, or how did it get to that point?
I think it just gets there. You grow, you get older, you start seeing things differently, and you just start. When you play stuff, you're not playing it for other people if they like it or not. You're just playing it. Okay, this sounds good. We're gonna play that, and it just so happens, it's a metal riff, or this is a hardcore part, or this is a breakdown. Let's put this together. It sounds great. There's no real science to it. It's just we're playing what we want to play and what we like to play, and if people like it, then like it. It's great. And I think that's where we're at. The leaning towards the metal and not. We don't want to be labeled of any one thing.
Sure.
We just want to play, have some fun. If we could have one person per show come up to us and say, "Hey, that music is great. Like I love it. I can bounce my head to it, and it's the beats are great, and listen to that guitar, and that to me that made it worth it. I mean, that's what we're trying to do right now.
Sure. Now,
Put our best product out there and see how it goes."
right. Now, I could be wrong on this because, like I said, I don't have years and years of listening to the band, but my take from listening through a few times is that you guys write a lot about perseverance, persevering, survival, more or less, or surviving bad things or whatnot. I
Yeah.
guess my question is, what happened that you guys have so many survival stories where you do talk
Well,
about persevering?
I'm not going to go into my past because that's insane. But growing up in Brooklyn, that was a whole different. That's different
Sure.
altogether. But Scott is the singer. He's been through a fairly large life change in the last few years. I'm not going to get personal on him, but
Hmm.
it shows you what loss is like, and when you have a situation in real life, we just sing about it. Okay, this is impossible to get through, and we just it's a positive message all around. It's like, okay, we got an obstacle. What are you gonna do? You cry about it, or you're gonna go around it, or you're gonna go right through it. Oh man.
It's fine.
Uh, and then that's it's just that's the hardcore end of it. That's the lyric content of it. I would defer to Scott for the exact meanings of that stuff, but generally that's where we're at with it. And it's a good message. The messages are all good. There's no
Mhm.
negative messages. If you
Sure.
read into it, if people want to take the time to read some of it, he's very belief driven, and you know, he sings what he believes in and stuff like that. And it's a good message. It's never a negative message. It's always positive. Always do something good. Always better yourself.
Right.
Hey, metalheads! Tired of waiting for new episodes? Crave the real, raw, classic metal show? For just $4.99 a month, you can become a CMS VIP. You get every episode a full week early, completely uncensored, and 100% commercial free. It's the only place to interact directly with the show, plus you score the Fast Pass, so your song requests get bumped straight to the head of the line on every live version. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe right now at classicmetalshow.locals.com and become a CMS VIP today.
Yeah, and for you as a drummer, and I'll just tell you up front before I ask this, I'm a failed drummer. I was bad at it. I knew it. There's
Can't
there's
be a
some
failed
things.
drummer.
Oh, you can, believe me. If you heard me drum, you'd be like, "Yep, stick to the microphone, pal." but
Hey,
but it is what it is. I just wasn't good at it. And I think part of that might have been because I didn't stay with it long enough, but B, I didn't have connection to what I was playing. I mean, we were writing songs and I was not the songwriter, so I wasn't really connected to them. I was just laying down beats, which, that's you do that with a drum machine these days.
yeah, that's true.
How important is that for you as the drummer to connect somewhat with either the message or the vibe that you guys are creating as a band?
I'm gonna make myself connect with anything because when I write drum parts, I'm gonna write it how I want to hear it in my ear. And if I'm watching a band on the stage and I want to see that part, it's just a regular, let's just say it's just a regular riff, just carrying on and chugging it out. But the drummer is the guy that's gonna make it what it is. You can make it a super fast part, or we can make it a super halftime breakdown part where people are just going to dance and bounce their heads a little bit, or you could do both at the same time. So you're always going to put my spin on it. So that's how I connect to the song. I don't particularly worry about the lyric content of it. I worry about the music of it. How can we make this? And as a drummer, we have to make everybody up. We have to bring the front guys up. We have to hold the beat. We want to make everybody, when they listen to it, they're doing this, like that's the idea. So that's how I connect to it. I just make it my own, and you put my own spin on it, and I'm automatically connected to it at that point.
Right on. I'm always curious with hardcore drummers, especially. Do you find yourself really especially in the live, only in the live setting, I guess, do you find yourself really having to control the show? Because you and I both know if you let the singer or the guitar player do it, it gets faster and faster and faster and faster and faster until you're not even playing the same song. Do you have to do that? And how difficult is it to rein your guys into the right tempos?
I gotta say, these guys are professional. These guys are pro. I mean, yes, I keep the timing. Sometimes you go a little quicker or whatever, but yeah, as a drummer, you have to rein it in a little bit, and just you keep the beat with the hi-hat or however you guys want to, keep the beat. But I don't find it that hard. When you have pro guys playing up in the front, everyone knows their job. We could play a show and we could be in 4 separate rooms and we can get through every song right on time. Like, we don't have to look at each other. We know the show. We know the music. It's very beneficial when you have 4 guys, 5 guys doing the same thing and they know what they're doing. Sure. These guys are total pros. It's amazing. I got to give those guys credit for that. But yeah, to answer your question, you got to rein it in sometimes because, the adrenaline gets to you,
Well, that's it. You get the adrenaline, and then at those shows, you got kind of the chaos of the crowd, which fuels the singer, which then they start going faster. And, I mean, it's interesting. I've been to, probably like you, I've been to a zillion hardcore shows, and at most of them in the middle, it gets faster and faster and faster somewhere where everybody catches that adrenaline rush. And,
you gotta come see us play. Come see us play.
I want to. I was gonna lead right to that. When and where will I be able to catch you guys?
What's your location exactly?
I'm in Cleveland.
Well, we're not going to be out there soon, but we are. I'm trying to make a full run. We're trying to do like a Midwest run. We're trying to do like a 4 or 5 day thing out there. We want to do like Scranton, Pittsburgh, and then hit Ohio and all that. Okay. That's how we have to get out there in the fall. You can't book shows nowadays. Everything takes 4, 5, 6 months to book.
Right.
It's murderous dealing with promoters and venues and, all the logistics of it, And today, the band needs money to travel. The clubs, they don't pay. Nobody pays anymore. They can't make a band whole. We become T-shirt salesmen on the road. This is how we make a living sometimes. It's tough, but yeah. we have stuff coming up here on the East Coast, up and down. We have that. Um, that's a little far from you guys, but we're going to work on something for the fall for the Midwest, like a Pennsylvania, Ohio, Chicago, that type of thing.
Okay, very cool. Well, and to kind of piggyback on what you just said there too, I don't think fans understand how important it is when a show is announced to actually go and buy the tickets. Because if you wait till day of, the promoter loses all faith in you guys. A lot of times they cancel because they don't see, three-quarters of the club sold a month out, and they cancel the shows on you guys.
It's very difficult with that right now.
Yeah, but the thing is it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense why, if you're planning to go to a show, buy the ticket. You're just waiting and spending more money to buy the ticket day of the show. Just buy the ticket.
I think it's a commitment thing. I think as the generations get younger, I don't think the commitment is all there. They want to go to the show, but it's always like, oh, okay, I'm not doing nothing right now. I'll go to the show then. It's just everything is last minute. If they have nothing better to do, they'll go to the show, unless it's a band that they really want to see. The shame of that is with those people who do that are not realizing you're never going to know if you're going to see the next band you're going to love. You might go to like an all local band show with 6 bands on it you never heard of. Come out of there, you might come out of there and say, wow, 1, 2, 3 of these bands are unbelievable. Where do I get their album, or what do I, download their music? Where are they playing? And then, a funny story about that is, I went and saw a show by me in New Jersey. A friend of mine, the guitar player from Sworn Enemy, we're there together hanging out. And he's like, yo, check this band out. And I never heard of this band. I'm like, we couldn't even pronounce the name. I'm like, it's Kublai Kai. I'm like,
right.
Okay. He's like, it's Kublai Khan. I'm like, okay, let me check these kids out. There was like 11 people in the place. There was nobody there. I'm watching Kublai Khan. And after the show, the kids come, the young kids, they go sell the merchandise. I walk up to the kid. I'm like, I noticed you're playing drums with no toms. It's just a snare and a bass drum and a floor tom. And we start talking, right? We exchanged numbers and said, we'll get a show together here and there. Never materialized. And about a year later, Kublai Khan is like headlining festivals in Europe, and they're playing in stadiums. And I'm like, this was a year ago. I just saw these kids with nobody at the show. You never know what you're going to miss. It's the point.
No, you're right. I'll share a quick story back. And obviously a different band, different style of music, but I used to write for the local magazine here in town, and they used to send me, I was the new guy, so they sent me to a lot of the, crap that nobody else wanted to cover. And one night they sent me down to a little club here in Cleveland, Peabody's Down Under, to see some band on a Tuesday from Boston nobody had ever heard of. And that turned out to be Godsmack. And I saw Godsmack in a club with same story, with couldn't have been 20 people in the room. It was before they took off, obviously, but
never know. Yeah.
A year later they were in stadiums or at least arenas. It was crazy. So you're right. You
never know.
No, you don't. But people certainly should be checking out Silence Equals Death. Here on the show, Frankie, we tell people, if you're gonna stream it, okay, listen to it once or twice, but buy something. Where is the best place for us to send people to actually buy a shirt, a hat, whatever, merch? I
mean, you could go right to our website directly, silenceequalsdeath.net. We have everything on there. We sell everything in-house. We also are on Bandcamp. We have all that stuff, all the websites that you would normally go to buy a band's merch. We're on everything, every streaming service, Apple, Spotify, everything you could imagine we're on right now. You have to be, you can buy the new album. You could buy the EP vinyl. We got it in 4 colors, just if you like to collect vinyls, you like to look at them. We have it old school. We have like liner notes in there and stuff. It's pretty cool. We have CDs for sale. All sorts of different kind of clothing merchandise. And right to our website would be great. We're on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Right on.
Follow the chaos. The Classic Metal Show is live on X. Stream all the episodes for free, watch the show live every Saturday night, or just get there and find out what is going on with the Classic Metal Show. Get your metal feed, x.com/CMS Rocks.
And I know I've lately become this huge fan of the Bandcamp because I think it's so many people think it's like all unsigned bands from, that draw 20 people in their local town. It's not anymore. It's
bigger bands too on it. Yep.
There's a lot of big, like Zach Wild, Black Label Society, all their stuff out there, and Anselmo and all his stuff. There's a lot of big bands out there on it. So definitely check the guys out. I suggest Bandcamp. He suggests silenceequalsdeath.net. Either place is great. Just pull out your credit card, you cheap shits, and buy something. Just buy something. Support the band.
Yeah, you can call me directly. Email me directly or Venmo me. We don't care. Just as long as you guys want something and you like the music, whatever you need, we'll make it work.
Right on, definitely. Well, one more time, everybody. The band is Silence Equals Death. The new release is From the Ashes, and this has been Frank. This has been Frank greatly. This has been great, Frankie. Thanks for joining me here on Chris Akin Presents.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
Get more metal in your inbox. The Classic Metal Show is on Substack. Listen or watch for free or subscribe for VIP exclusive content. Find us at cmspn.substack.com.